All right. This is the first episode of Life 101. It is my first attempt. Probably really going to suck, but stick with me. Got a lot of good information. This one's on scams. This is probably one of the foremost just scourges on today's society. Everyone is affected by these. If for no other reason, then you just constantly get the emails, the text messages, the phone calls from spoof numbers, from bad email addresses. You know, they're trying to be someone they're not and trying to get something from you that they don't have the right to have. One of the biggest problems with them is a lot of times they are actually from foreign entities. So the government can't really shut them down. Those are the really bad ones. If it's coming from inside America and they can pinpoint it, the government can just wreck them. And they've actually had a few times where they have been able to pinpoint and shut down big scam rings. But when it comes from Asia, from Africa, from Europe, from wherever, South America, they can't do anything. It's outside the American government's realm of control. So that's really rough, especially if you end up getting taken by it. If you fall for it and you lose a couple thousand, sometimes your whole life savings because you just didn't catch it, or it struck a nerve, it got under your skin. You thought maybe it really is real, and before you know it, you're out 75 grand, and it's to some nobody out in the middle of some third world country or whatever. You're never going to get your money back. And so this is something that the best defense is to just avoid the whole thing, to learn to recognize the flags and learn to be able to just hang up the phone, just ignore the email, delete the text message, just avoid getting taken in the first place. So there's so many scams out there right now that are circulating, and they rotate. Some fall by the wayside as they stop reliably raking in money, and then they think up new ways to try and trick you, to try and get you to lower your guard, to try and get you to listen to them and believe the lies that they're telling you. So since there's so many out there that have been that, and then sometimes they'll recycle after that one has fallen by the wayside. Give it a decade and they'll pick it back up again, maybe with a little bit of a new twist, depending on what's going on in the socio-political realm of the world, different things in pop news and all of that. They'll pick up on things, and then they'll use that to try and bilk you out of your money. So instead of trying to list all of them, because I could literally be here for hours trying to list every single scam and every single variation off of scams, and for one, you're not going to sit here and listen to all that crap. That's just no. Two, it's going to be completely obsolete tomorrow because some jerk is going to come up with a new thing that I didn't mention in the video. So you're not going to be fully protected. The best thing I can do for you today is try and lay out the warning signs and the flags. So I've got 5 different topics that are either warning flags or tips to help you avoid getting caught up in one of these schemes. I may do a video later regarding identity theft. That's a completely different topic. It's sort of peripherally related. What I'm talking here is just the scams, just the one that says, the Nigerian prince is caught in jail in Great Britain, and he's got a $3.1 million fortune stashed away in America, and if you can help him find it, he'll cut you a portion of it. That's all garbage. We'll deal with recovering from a scam or identity theft in another video. If that's something you really want to see, check it out in comments. let me know. Let me know what you want to see, and I'll set up another video at a future date to cover those topics. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss it. Hit that notification icon, and that'll allow push notifications on whatever device that you use to watch these videos. So let's get rolling. Flag number 1. The government will almost never contact you when they have an issue with you. Okay? Depending on what government agency it is, they might use the mail. The IRS, for example, is well known for sending letters. You get a letter from the IRS, you could probably contact them, find out what's going on. But they're not going to call you up. They're not going to tell you, hey, you've got an issue with your IRS. You need to pay us this amount of money over the phone using gift cards and Bitcoin and all of that, and that's going to fix it. No, the IRS will not call you. Okay. There was reports, we recently had a big massive hike in gas price where the price of gas just skyrocketed. Anyone that doesn't have an electric car probably knows about it. Even some of the people that have electric cars probably know about it too, because they might have a gas lawnmower or something. I don't know. But some of the police stations and the municipalities were actually exhausting their budget for fuel, and they were going to run out of money before the end of the year and not be able to actually put gas in their police cars. So they were, when they got 911 calls, they were trying to segregate them out into, okay, this one we actually have to send someone there right now. This is, report of a current armed robbery. So yeah, we should probably be there in person, and we might want to send a few cars. And then there's other calls where it's like, okay, this guy's calling to say he got robbed last night, and then when he came in today, the door was broken open, all of his jewelry from his Jared jewelry store was gone, and that's not urgent, we don't need to send a car out right this second. So they'll actually call and see, hey, is there anything we can do? I mean, if they don't need to send one out, they might call, and then they can decide from that. But they're not going to call you to give you a warning on whether they're chasing you for a massive fraud or terrorism or drug running crime or something like that. Your car was found burning on the border of Mexico in connection with 50 different fraud cases, and you need to pay this amount of money to try and get it resolved. No, that's crap. Okay. Government's not going to call you. They'll send you letters. They'll come to you in person. Even if they want to talk to you about a case, they're going to show up at your door. They're either going to have a warrant to search your place or arrest you, or they're going to show up at your door and they're going to ask you to accompany them to the police station so that they can question you in relation with an investigation that they're doing. They're not going to call you on the phone and try and do it over the phone. That would be dumb, because any call that they give you, if you're guilty, that's going to give you a heads up so that you can destroy any evidence that might be incriminating, or just bolt and run or hide. So that's completely counterproductive to what they're trying to do. It'd be polite, but the police is not there to be polite. They're there to solve crimes. They're there to, whatever your belief is on the police, and I'm not trying to get into any kind of a political discussion here, but in the end, that they're there to solve crimes. They're there to protect the public. They may not do it perfectly most of the time, but that's their end goal. They're not there to be polite. If you get a call from a government agency, unless and I've got some information in another flag, unless you have something that's ringing bells for you, that hey, hold on, this doesn't sound like a scam, this might be legit, your best course, if it's just sounding like a scam, hang up. It is what it is. Just hang up. You don't want to give them any information, because anything that you give them that they don't already have, they can then use to harm you. They can use to create a mirror identity and steal your identity. They can hack into your bank accounts. So just the best thing is don't give them any information. Flag number 2. Nobody requires you to give them payment in gift cards or crypto. There are many entities that accept payment in cryptos or gift cards, but nobody legitimate will say you have to pay me in crypto. You have to pay me in gift cards. Those are forms of payment that are not easily traceable. That's why they're used. You pay in crypto, it's almost virtually untraceable, and it cannot be reversed. Once it's gone, once you've made that payment, it's gone. The money's there. You're never seeing it again. Okay. Gift cards, same thing. They're not easily traceable. They don't have tracking. So it's a very, very easy way for a scammer to get money out of you without leaving a money trail back to them. Western Union or some of the other similar apps. There's a lot of new apps that have popped up recently that allow you to shoot money to your friends or whatever. Throw some money at your kid that's in college that needs it for the party that they're holding, or whatever. A lot of those are also suspect because they're very easy to send money out. But if someone is saying, well, there's this, that, and you need to pay us in crypto, or you need to go and buy 5 $75 Amazon gift cards and then read us the numbers on the back, that's just run. I mean, well, you could probably just hang up, but you don't need to physically drop your phone and bolt. But you need to get away from that situation, because I cannot personally think of a single circumstance in which that is going to be legit. Especially if they're asking for gift cards from a company that they aren't. Like the government agency is saying, oh, your Social Security has been compromised. We need you to buy $75 iTunes gift cards and read it to us to protect your investment. That should be common sense. That's just garbage. There's no way that even makes sense. Okay, but when you're going through it and it's happening to you, you hear things like Social Security number compromised. You hear things like Homeland Security, and you start to panic. But when these things are happening, step back, pause, take it with a grain of salt, and run it through the filter of a brain cell. All right. So the best thing, again, don't get taken by it in the first place, because once your money's gone, you're probably not getting it back. It's probably even out of the purview of where the government, our national government, has authority to even prosecute the people, because a lot of these people will go to places that we don't have a good legal relationship with, where we might not be able to extradite, or all of that. So that's the crypto's great to play around with for investment, but it's going to be a scam. Flag number 3. Nobody is going to be tripping all over themselves to give you anything of great value. Your long lost relative that you never knew existed, that died in Africa, that left you $2.8 million, and all you need to do is pay $1,500 for processing fees to get the money transferred over to your account. Yeah. I'm not saying that you won't have relatives that will pass away that you may never have heard of, um, that might have inheritance. That's happened. It could happen. But for one, it's not going to happen over the phone. Big transactions like that are not going to happen over the phone. There's going to be massive amounts of paperwork. If for no other reason, let's be honest, the government wants their cut. Any inheritance you get, that's income. That is income. And therefore, it is subject to income tax. Even like whatever remains of your parents' 401ks and IRAs and their retirement accounts and all of that, that's all income. And you have to take it as a payout, and you're going to have to pay income taxes on it. I know it sucks that thinking that, okay, this was your legacy from your parents. And it sucks thinking about how when you pass away and you want to pass your legacy on to your kid, that Uncle Sam's going to take a big honking chunk of that, especially if your inheritance is a big amount. If it's getting into the 7 to 8 figures, then that percentage that Uncle Sam takes is going to jack up. So, but it's true. It's life. Okay. So there's going to be a mountain of paperwork to deal with all of that. You're not going to deal with it over the phone. I'm not a lawyer. I don't have any legal ground to stand on to tell you how that is actually going to play out and work, especially since it's all contract law. So there's going to be all sorts of different things. A will is a contract. It's a legal expression of what someone wants to happen. So they can do things however they want. They can not have one and then it just goes to the next of kin, or however it works in whatever municipality you're in. Or they can specifically designate, I want $1 to go to this son because he couldn't stand him and he wasn't there for me. I want a whole bunch to go to this daughter, and then I want 80% of it to go to this charity that I absolutely love because it was more value to me than my kids. I don't know, whatever. But all of that's going to be dealt with, and anything that might come out of your money is going to be dealt with when the paperwork goes through. It's not going to be dealt with over the phone ever, because you're going to have signatures. That's the legal way. So don't get had. You're going to get stuff for free on occasion. It's going to happen. Not often. Funny story. I won a car. Okay. I talked about it so much that the people at work got tired of hearing about it. So, I kind of had to stop talking about it, or else I was going to just piss them all off. But for the sake of it, it fits right in with this. I actually won a car. It was almost a $40,000 premium trim level, turbocharged all-wheel drive SUV. It was real nice. I entered a sweepstakes at the auto show, and I was the name drawn for that year for all of the auto shows. There was one car given away from that venue, and I just lucked out a few years ago, and I was the one that was drawn. I almost hung up on the people because of all of this. I knew scams. We'd fallen suspect. We had our identities hacked before. We'd had our bank accounts hacked. We'd had PayPal accounts hacked. And actually, 3 days before I got the call about winning the car, and yes, they did call me on the phone. I got a call from some dude that had a really thick accent telling me that my car was found burning, or car in my name was found burning on the border of Mexico, that was connected to 50 cases of fraud, and my social security number was suspended. So I had gone through all of that, and it took me all of about 30 seconds on that call to realize that the dude was had absolutely no grounding in reality, and he was just trying to get my money or my information to steal my identity. So then 3 days later, I get this call from some marketing agency that I've never heard of telling me that I want a car. And so naturally, I almost told them they were full of crap and just hung up on them. But then they said a couple of things that caught my attention. Number one, they didn't ask me for information. They had my information, which makes complete sense because they put it all on the entry form at the auto show. They had my name, they had my address, they had my phone number, they had the name of the sweepstakes that I entered. They told me where I entered it at the auto show. And with all of that information, things started to fall into place. We'd vetted that agency out for 2 or 3 days, talking back and forth, calling back and forth, confirming a whole bunch of different things. So that was one of my first signs. They gave me the information. They weren't asking for any information from me. So, number one. Number two, they weren't asking for money from me. There did come a time in the transaction where I did have to pay. The one thing that the vehicle did not have that was an option was all-wheel drive. I wanted all-wheel drive. They allowed me to pay the difference. And so that was another $2,000 that I paid. But we did that at signing again, as I mentioned before, when we were doing all the legal paperwork. So we're sitting down, that was rolled in. I had to pay the tax, title, doc fees. That was not included. That, again, was rolled in when we were doing all the signing of the documents for me to take receipt of the car. And I was literally there on the dealership property at an official dealership with the car being, prepped, and they were just a complete troll about it. They did it all in private. They did not actually let me see the vehicle until I saw it on camera for the first time. So that was pretty cool, but it was awesome vehicle. I also had to pay income tax because the retail value of $38,000 of the vehicle counted as income tax. That again happened at tax time. I didn't have to pay that to some shadowy entity over the phone. So you'll see different signs of things that, hold on, maybe this isn't a scam. And one of those signs is they're not asking for anything from you. Okay? They might say, "Hey, are you Kevin?" Just, to make sure that they're actually talking to the right person. But they're not going to ask you to confirm all of these things. There'll be plenty of time during the paperwork later to make sure you are who you say you are. And you're not some, Joe Schmo off the street that said, "Oh, yeah, you're going to give me a car? Yeah, I'm Kevin. I'll be Kevin today. Yep. All right." So they will have your info. That'll be a big sign. I've actually got a coworker that told me a story. He let me know. He let me use that on this channel, so I'm going to tell it to you. And it was actually something that surprised me, because you remember I said in flag number 1 that the authorities, the police, will almost never call you. I actually had to change that to almost. Originally, it was never, because of this story. He went to purchase a firearm of legal age, good standing, goes to purchase a firearm. He fills out the paperwork. They do their background check. Goes through, clears, awesome, boom. He pays for the firearm. It was just a pistol, a handgun. They give him the gun. He takes it home. A little while later, I don't remember the amount of time, but a little while later, he gets a call from ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. And they said, "Hey, dude, here's what's up. All right." Okay, they probably didn't say that specifically, but that was the premise of their intro. "Dude, here's what's up. All right. You bought a gun and you filled out some paperwork for it, right? Well, on there, one of the questions it asked you was, do you have any felony or any current litigation that could become a felony?" And you said no. But here's the scoop. See, we looked into it, and after the fact, we found this lawsuit that you've kind of got pending that if you get convicted, it would be a felony charge. So we got a problem. And he's like, dude, come on, man. This ain't how the law works. Like, I watched this video once and they said, like, you're not going to call me. So I don't buy this. And he's like, well, no, hear me out, dude. So check this out. I'll meet up with you, man. I'll show you my badge. This is my number. Here's my name, dude. I'll meet up with you. You don't need to give the gun to me, but you need to go back to where you bought it and you need to return it. Because if you don't, currently, this is some serious business right here. If you don't do this, we can come and arrest you, and you don't want to play with gun charges. All right, dude. So he was really skeptical, but he met up with the dude. The guy was really cool about it. He was willing to meet up in person to prove, because he understands there's a lot going on as far as scams. And he was willing to meet up with him to prove how legitimate he was. So he did. My coworker met up with this ATF officer, showed him the badge, and it turned out to be legit. So he took the firearm back, returned it to where it was, went back, finished resolving his litigation, it was an honest mistake. He legitimately just completely forgot that he had this thing going on in the background that was still just hanging over his head unresolved. So he resolved it, then he went back and he rebought the gun. No problem, free and clear. But here's what happened that was the flags that made him pause and think, okay, this might be legit. So again, these are the things to look for. The officer had his name, he had his phone number, he had his address, he had the doggone serial number of the gun that he bought. All of the information that a scam artist is just not going to have. I mean, think about it. Anytime you've gotten these calls that are like, oh yeah, your warranty has expired and we want to sell you a new warranty. And they're like, all right, you're like, all right, cool. And they're like, all right, what's your name? Wait a doggone minute. How do you know that my warranty has expired when you don't even know my name? Right? If this is legit, you're going to be able to tell me what my name is, what my address is. You're going to be able to tell me what my car that I drive is, because you know my warranty expired, so you got to know what car the warranty's on, right? Okay, tangent. Bring it in. All right, so he had all of that information. That's number one. He gave my coworker the information. He didn't ask for it, okay? Number two, he told my coworker, you need to return the gun to where you bought it. He didn't tell him, you need to give the gun to me. You need to forfeit your firearm to me, okay? You need to return it. So if you think about it, this dude, this officer, had no way to benefit from this transaction. He wasn't getting money from my coworker. He wasn't getting the gun from my coworker. He wasn't getting anything. He was doing it, in my opinion, that's a model officer. He's trying to make sure that the law is upheld. He ain't trying to intimidate. He ain't trying to be a bully. He ain't trying to just throw someone in jail because he can, because, he's on a power trip. All right. He's trying to make sure the law is upheld. And as long as the law is upheld, if it's an honest misunderstanding, all right, I understand. It was a mistake. We all make mistakes. We're all human. All right, dude, just take it back. Deal with your stuff. All right. Come back. You can buy it again in a month. No harm, no foul, right? All right. So that's what you're looking for. Make sure that if there's no way for the person that's talking to you to benefit from this, that might be a sign that everything's legit. Now, keep in mind, they get creative. They get real creative about how they can benefit from it. Anytime you have to pay money for something, that's a flag. Because it might not seem like there's a car wrap scam where they say, oh, make $5,000 a month. Make $1,000 a week. Make $500 a week. Just wrap your car. We'll get a wrap put on your car. All you got to do, you got to pay $350 to get this wrap put on your car, and then the checks just start rolling in. Well, what happens is you send them the $350 to get this wrap put on your car, and then they just never talk to you again. They never send you the information on what shop to go to get this wrap put on your car. And again, you're sending them that $350 as a wire transfer, or maybe gift cards, or maybe cryptocurrency. But you're sending that to them, then they just never get back to you, and you're out your $350. Okay? Get creative. Think, is there any way this can go sour? Usually, if you give them anything, whether it's information, money, whatever, it can. So, those are your flags. Number 4, do your research. Okay? Very, very, very seldom will you encounter a scam where you're, number one, you're the first person that's getting had by this entire concept of this scam. Right? Vast majority of the time, when you encounter a scam or you encounter something that's suspect, that just is starting to get those alarm bells ringing, chances are lots of other people have encountered this scam as well. So do a Google search. Look up, if you get an email that's got a picture of a dude in a military uniform with his cute little daughter that's trapped in Spain, and they got robbed of all their money and they can't get back, and all they need you to do is send them, $550 iTunes gift cards so that they can buy a flight back. Again, it really shouldn't take a mental giant to figure out that something doesn't add up in that story. But, take the picture. You can do a reverse search on a picture and search that picture on Google, and I guarantee you that picture will come up as this is the focus of a billion scams that are all worded just slightly differently, but they just found some dude's picture on Facebook that it looked, well, it's old enough. They probably found this dude's picture on MySpace. I don't know. And they just were like, hey, we can do something with this, and we can steal money from people. And then they just proliferated it through all of them. All right. When you're doing your research, always use official sites. Okay. So you get an email from Best Buy and it says, hey, your Geek Squad, your auto renew on your Geek Squad subscription has gone through. Here's your receipt for $375.84 for the 3-year renewal. And you're like, what the heck? I never had the Geek Squad subscription. And so you look down at the bottom of the email and it says, if you have any questions or comments, click this link. And it's got all the official Best Buy logos and the banner and everything on top. And you click that link and it takes you to a website that looks like Best Buy, and up in the bar you see mybestbuy.com, not my.bestbuy, my Best Buy, one word. Okay, yeah. Well, these guys, they make websites that look exactly like the real websites. I mean, except for the typos, because English is like their 5th language. But, they make these websites to look like the real ones. And then you put, you go to log in and you put your username in, you put your password in, and you go to log into Best Buy, and it didn't accept it. Now guess what? They've got your login and your password because you just put it in on their website. Now what you should do, you should go Google Best Buy, go to the Best Buy website, and then put your credentials on the official Best Buy website. Don't use their link. Use the official one. Okay? And check it out there. You probably got a purchase history. Or heck, go and check out, find the Best Buy customer service phone number. Call them up. Say, hey, I just got an email that said my Geek Squad was renewed. and I don't have Geek Squad. What's up? So, use the official stuff. That's not uncommon. That the Geek Squad one's one that's going around. You'll get one from PayPal or from eBay or from Amazon saying, yeah, you got a receipt for this Bowflex or for this whatever. Don't use their links. Use the official website and then check it out through that, because chances are it's a scam. Chances are their link is going to go to their website that looks like the official website, and they're going to get information from you. Emails. If you think it's a legitimate email, look at the actual return address. Not where it says, Fifth Third Bank. Look at the actual return address. Because if it says it's from Fifth Third Bank at the top of the email, but it's from IJK74LM8@gmail.com, I got news for you. That's probably not actually from Fifth Third Bank. Yeah. So, same with the return address. That's another flag. If the return address is significantly different from the sent address, they might be spoofing the sent address. They can do that. You can get a phone call and it says it's from Seattle Grace Hospital, but it's actually not. It's from some guy making a web call from the Congo or from England or from the Ukraine or from Russia or China or, fill in the blank. Probably not from Texas, because, they don't like to do this from inside the country because the government will crack down on them hard if they catch them. But and it's usually a VoIP, it's over the internet, and they can plug in whatever phone number they want. So they'll do phone numbers of big name companies. You'll see one from a hospital, and it'll be to sell you a new ankle brace or a cane or a hover-around electric wheelchair or whatever, and they'll pick a hospital because that's where medical stuff comes from. Even though it's really not. It doesn't come from the hospital. It comes from stores and websites. They just think that, oh, hey, it's medical. They'll believe a hospital. But they'll pick, or they'll spoof a government agency number. So it'll actually say IRS when they're calling you to tell you you've got, an IRS issue. So just be aware of that as well. Learn to recognize that. Another big one, don't give out sensitive information as a form of confirmation. If by chance you happen to have someone call and say, oh yeah, I just wanted to confirm this transaction or something like that, or you get the Best Buy email and had a phone number on there for you to call for customer service, it's going to funnel that. It's not going to Best Buy, I guarantee you. It's going to funnel that to their call center. And they are going to be answering your questions however they can to assuage your fears and get you to pay them more money or give them information, whatever. Don't give your credit card number as a we'll refund it. Let me help me find the transaction. Let me get your credit card number and I'll just search for it by that, the credit card that you ordered it on, and then we'll refund it to that. Okay, please don't do that. They're just going to write that down and then use that to go buy a Bowflex on Amazon, and then you're going to get an email saying, this is your confirmation for your Bowflex you just bought on Amazon. Okay, just don't do it. Number 5, if you're getting an odd request for money from someone that you think your grandma, your mom, your daughter, your sister, your grandkid, someone you think okay? Make sure that it's actually them. And here's what I mean by that. There's something that people can do called cloning a device. And so someone can clone any electronic device, and that basically means they take another device, they basically wipe its identity off, okay? And then they copy another device, okay? So we'll take a cell phone, for example. If someone was able to get the individual, there's something called a MAC address on my phone, okay? And they were able to get that MAC address, they were able to get the SIM card or whatever, they could actually make an exact copy of that. And that would connect to my cell phone provider. And then anytime I got a text message, that cloned phone would also get that text message. Okay? Now, and then anytime that cloned phone sent a text message, it would show up in my text that I sent that text message as well. But I didn't do anything. So if you get a cloned phone, or if someone gets a clone of your phone, then they can send text messages out on your behalf. So if your granddaughter, who's out in college, gets her phone cloned, that individual can text you saying, "Hey, it's your granddaughter," especially if your granddaughter has in her phone book has your number marked as grandma. They'll just, grandma, it's a gold mine. They'll text you. They'll say, "Hey, I got a little bit behind on my car payments, grandma. I need $300. Can you wire $300? Here's my email. Can you wire this to me?" And it's got, the email is sassy college girl 2021 at gmail.com. Can you wire, $350 to me so that I can get my car payment paid this month, please, grandma? You love me. I'm your little Pookie. If you're getting that email, call. Hear the voice, because anyone might be able to pose, if they're generic enough, via text. But you need to hear the voice. You need to ask questions. You need to confirm, what's going on. And you need to do so in a way that can't be faked. That information they might not have. Okay. The best way is actually call. Keep in mind, most of this is not urgent. Okay. If she needs the money to make her car payment, it's probably not a big deal if you wait a couple of days because she's not available. Okay. So give it time. Get her on the phone, right? Talk to them, confirm. And again, beware of crypto, gift cards, and money sending apps, because when you give money through those venues, it's gone. It's gone. Okay? Make sure that who you think you're talking to is who you're actually talking to. So, in conclusion, okay, the government will not call you. Be aware, be wary of Bitcoin, gift cards, and Western Union. Nobody willingly will be tripping over themselves to give you their stuff, okay? Do your research and confirm who you're talking to. Know who you're talking to. Know what's going on. And just be aware. Think about things. They will always try and use urgency to get you to throw caution out the window. But think about the fact that if this is a text message, if this is an email, you might not have seen that email for 12 hours, 2 days, who knows? So if you see that email and you take 5 minutes to do a Google search and actually investigate, that's no different than if you had just seen the email 5 minutes later. Okay? If you get a call and you're thinking, oh God, this is horrible, this is going to end my life. Well, think about if that call had gone to voicemail. if you hadn't picked it up? You've been in the shower, you hadn't picked it up, and you got to it 10 minutes later and you heard the voicemail. What's the difference if you get their callback number and you say, hey, okay, just let me check this out. All right, I want to do a little bit of investigation. Or if you don't want to admit that you're investigating, say, hey, man, I'm actually in the middle of something. Can I call you back? Get their name, get their phone number, then go do a Google search on that phone number. Make sure the phone number matches up. Or if they're claiming that they're from ATF, go call ATF, Google ATF's number, call ATF, say, hey, I just got a call claiming it was from ATF from Jessica. I didn't get a phone number to call back. Is Jessica there? And then they'll be able to tell you, okay, yeah, Jessica's here. Or, maybe, there's a lot of different ways that you can see if things are legit or not. Use your tools, okay? Use your tools. Thanks for listening. I hope I was able to help give you a lot of pointers on how to recognize a scam while it's happening before you actually lose anything from it. So please, if you like this video, subscribe. I hear that those are some sort of a metric that, YouTube uses to help, send my videos to more people or send more people to my video. I don't know, whatever. I'm new at this. Check it out. Do it. Help me out. Questions, comments, put them in the comments below. I will try to respond. Check it out. Notification bell will let you know that I am posting new videos. I'm going to try and do this once a week. Hopefully, I'm going to get podcast stuff set up so I can reach more people, because this stuff is it's stuff that people need to know. And it's stuff that there's too many people are getting had by this. So if you have someone, and everyone knows someone that just should not be allowed on the internet. They're just too trusting, or they don't understand the technologies that allow other people to pose as other people. Share this with them, okay? There are also videos, if you want that endless list of all the scams that are out there, there are a billion videos out there that you can check out. I don't think I'm going to do a video that just lists all the different scams. That's already out there. You can find it. Check it out. Thanks for sticking with me. This has been a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. See you next week. Have a great day.